There's something interesting about the way thoughts move, how ideas flow, how for so long you believed things had to be a certain way. But was that ever really true? Because wasn't it always just a feeling, a sensation, a moment where something felt real? And so it became real, like a dream. You forgot that you were dreaming. Like a story you once believed, without ever questioning who wrote it. And the more you think about it now, the more you begin to notice beliefs aren't fixed. They shift, they change, they evolve. Because if you could create one belief, you can create another. And isn't that an interesting thought? What if you never had to fight yourself at all? Because the part of you that felt trapped was never truly trapped. The part of you that wanted to disappear was only searching for space. And the more you fought to control, the more control slipped away. But what happens when you stop fighting and start directing? Because here's the thing about energy. It doesn't vanish, it transforms. And what happens when all that suppressed energy becomes focused? You already know, don't you? Because you've seen it before. The moment anger becomes determination. The moment hesitation turns into momentum. The moment everything that once felt overwhelming just clicks. And as you begin to notice this now, I wonder if you can already feel it shifting inside. That realization, that knowing, that every single rule you imposed on yourself was never really yours. That every limitation you accepted was simply a thought repeated enough times to feel real. Yet what happens when you change the thought? Because who told you that you had to hold it in? Who told you that you couldn't speak, that you shouldn't feel, that you must stay small? And what happens when you decide they were wrong? Because isn't it true? The more you let go, the more power you gain. The more you stop holding back, the more you expand. Because you don't have to try to be seen anymore. You already are. You don't have to try to hold yourself together. You're already whole. And as these words begin to settle deeper, as they sink into the places where they need to be, you might start to wonder, what happens now? Because people, they don't remember what you say. They remember your energy. They remember how you make them feel. And the more you step into this, the more you own your space. The more you allow yourself to breathe. The more you let yourself exist fully. The more unstoppable you become. And isn't it interesting how this already feels real? Because you already know, don't you? Because there's something fascinating about the way the mind works. How a single thought held long enough can shape reality. How fleeting feeling, repeated often, can become a truth that you never meant to accept. And it is interesting how for so long you thought you had to suppress it. You thought you had to push it down. You thought you had to hold back, stay quiet, stay safe. But now, as you listen to these words, as you begin to feel something stirring inside, you might start to wonder, what if this was never true? Because think about it. When did you first decide that silence was safer? When did you learn that emotions were something to escape instead of something to use? And isn't it funny how those who told you to suppress your fire, they're always the ones afraid of its power? Because the truth is, anger was never the problem. No, the problem was what you believed about it. Because when fire is scattered, it destroys. But when it's focused, it creates. What happens when you learn to focus it? Because you already know, don't you? The more you slow it down, the more control you gain. The more you guide it, the more powerful it becomes. Like a sculptor shaping molten metal. Like a master directing a storm. Like a mind that no longer fights itself, but moves with precision, clarity and intent. And so now, as you allow this realization to deepen, as you let it settle into the places that need it the most, you might begin to wonder. All those rules you once followed, they were never really yours. They were just borrowed beliefs, stories you absorbed, limits you never questioned. But now, as you think about it, who told you to live this way? Who told you to hold back? Who told you your emotions were anything less than raw, untapped power? And what happens when you decide they were wrong? Because isn't it true? The more you let go, the more you expand. The more you stop holding back, the more you step into yourself. And that people, they don't remember your words. They remember your energy. Because when you walk into a room, when you speak, when you breathe into your truth fully, people don't just hear you, they feel you. That feeling becomes impossible to ignore. And so, as these words continue to echo within you, shaping something new, something stronger, something undeniable, you might start to wonder what happens, because you already know, don't you?